Previously on Trouble in Mind.
Hey, are you listening to me?
Weird, I just found a bunch of old film canisters or something.
Don't look at them, girl, unless you want to see your mom naked.
Stevie?
Whoa, Hanson?
I found an open window and I thought somebody broke into the school.
What I found were not film canisters. They're magnetic tape canisters.
What are you really doing back here?
Things get a little strange on the tapes.
It is well aware of the careful anatomy of the human brain.
Aunt Dotty is probably dead. That's what my mom thinks. Or, quote, if she's not, she better be. What happened aboard the Autumn Flyer?
I'm gonna need another cigarette.
Ugh, me too.
I thought I heard a train in the background. Don't play it again.
Aunt Dotty was aboard a train in 1945. The Autumn Flyer.
Why do I know that name?
It was carrying returning troops home after the war. It left Vancouver and stopped in San Francisco before beginning a long stretch through the Midwest. It was supposed to pass through the Appalachian Mountains, but it never made it to New York.
What does your journal say? How does it end?
It loses all sense of time. Dotty stopped dating her entries. The later pages of her journal are more like tone poetry and drawings done by convicts.
That first tape you showed me, she sounded like she'd been through it. So we must have started at the end.
Or the middle.
Well, there's a disturbing thought.
And as far as I can tell, there's no information on any of the train's passengers. As it stands, Aunt Dotty is the only one I know of. I've gone to a few different libraries. All I could find was one article. The railway company announced an investigation into the mysterious circumstances surrounding its disappearance, but no follow-up after that. Easy for stories to get buried back in the day, I guess. Bad news for me, though.
It's 'cause you're not looking in the right places. I have heard this story before.
How?
It's kind of a minor debate within, conspiratorially minded circles.
Ah, yes. UFO and Bigfoot chasers.
Yeah.
Why a minor debate?
It's a little low-key for them. If the train was time-traveling or something, then you might garner more interest. It might live on as an urban legend or a ghost story, but it disappeared with hardly a trace. You get into a fender bender on the highway, you don't break out the conspiracy board and red string, usually. It's kind of a run-of-the-mill baby's first conspiracy theory. At least, that's what I hear. 3 prevailing explanations here. 1, a hijacking.
Banditos. Or an inside job by a railway tycoon.
2, it derailed, and then over the harsh winter, the survivors ate each other.
Ugh. What else?
UFOs.
Of course.
It's clearly gonna be UFOs, though.
I'd put my money on it. You said hardly a trace.
If I've heard about this, that means there are enough breadcrumbs out there to keep the story alive. Maybe your aunt wasn't the only one who walked away. It sounds like the train made a few stops down the line. Maybe things were dandy till a short sudden stop at the very end.
Hypothetically speaking, if I wanted to start pulling on this thread.
You could start local. I have some contacts who might know a thing or two. Of course, they'll be suspicious at first. They'll want to test your mettle, test how much of a believer you are. But I can give you a few zines to study up a little.
Oh, great.
They're not that bad once you get to know them. They're using computers more these days, talking to other groups all across the country, the rest of the world, even. You boost the signal enough, I like your chances of cracking this thing.
Chase down all leads, right?
Even if it kills you.
Thanks, Hanson. I'll leave you my new number. Send him my way.
You know, at the end of this, it's possible you might just find a woman who is in severe mental distress on the worst day of her life. You might not like what you find.
Fingers crossed for the UFOs, then.
Hey, I'm not, like, in the conspiracy community. I just wanted you to know that.
Hey, it's me. Were you sleeping?
Not a chance. How'd it go? You listen to any more of those tapes?
I did. It's hard to explain over the phone. Maybe I could play one for you.
And get hella cursed too? Are you nuts?
The tapes aren't cursed, Donna. They're just a little odd.
The woman disappeared on you, and then all of a sudden you happen to stumble upon a box of her things? It just had been hidden away inside the house you grew up in? No thanks. I don't believe in coincidence. You'll say they're just tapes now, and then suddenly you're projectile vomiting and birthing a demon baby.
Jesus, Donna.
You've always been a magnet for bad luck, since we were kids.
Yeah, well, maybe if you stopped hanging out with me, you...
wouldn't be laid up in bed like a boring old biddy on a Friday night.
How is it today?
Better, actually. I was able to get up and walk around.
That's great. Just don't push yourself too hard.
Yeah, sure thing, Mom.
Whatever. Hey, you remember Hanson from journalism school?
The grumpy TA from first year? You almost flunked out because of him.
Yeah, well, he was there tonight. I only got one tape done because of him.
Ugh, thwarted. I remember you publishing a hit piece about that asshole in the student magazine. You called his cargo shorts stupid.
And I never saw him wear them again. Anyway, he's kind of helping me with these tapes now.
Sounds like a fun night.
It wasn't that fun.
But your aunt's tapes, heard anything really freaky yet?
No, they're kind of dry. Tell me about your night. You watched last week's Dallas?
Oh my gosh, yes. Okay, so Sue Ellen found out that JR and Holly are sleeping together, so then she gets crazy drunk, and then she decides I'm gonna...
All right, Dotty. What have you got for me? Okay, December 19th, 1945. Let's see what you were up to. I skipped breakfast today. I don't think my psyche could handle another bowl of the boring, gray slop they pass off as oatmeal here. I hope the men got a nice meal at least once. A man I spoke to said, at Peleliu, there was a stretch in which his unit could only eat what they took from the Japanese they killed. After 2 days, they couldn't be bothered to pick the maggots out of their rice. Ugh. Yuck. I haven't heard any complaints about oatmeal from them, and I was ashamed of my fastidiousness. I have never seen men so exhausted, so worn out in my life. Poor souls. Also, I have misplaced my beautiful silver compact, or it has been taken. December 23rd. A number of the men suffer from night terrors, episodes nightly, screaming, thrashing, panicked ramblings of a devilish nature. Who can say when their troubled minds seem to be the loudest? I've never heard screams more unnerving. You would think they were stuck on the end of a bayonet right there in their sleeper cars. Fairchild has been a blessing for taking care of the wounded men. Never have I seen a single strand of her hair out of place. The things she must have seen as a nurse. She is made of sterner stuff than I. I admit, the stories the men tell each other, like a competition amongst themselves, the awful acts of war, full of grisly detail, have kept me up. Since leaving San Francisco, the mood has soured. I lie awake more often. The shadows they jump at, I jump at too. It was near midnight last night that I was shaken awake. The door to my cabin had unlatched and was ajar. I peered into the blackness. I believe I glimpsed it for the first time, even if I saw nothing. Hello?
Stephanie.
Aunt Dotty? Aunt Dotty?
My name is Pandora. I'm not your aunt.
Oh, yeah. Sorry.
I'm aware you've come into possession of a box of tapes recently.
That's right. I don't know what's on them, but they
belong to a family member. That much I do know. You seek closure.
Yeah. Working on it. Once I get those tapes transferred...
You won't find it.
Excuse me?
I don't think you'll get the whole story you're looking for.
So you have a theory about what happened aboard the train?
No. What I have are tapes by your aunt. I don't think your collection's complete. I was thinking we could help each other out.
Stephanie?
Hi. Just Stevie. You're Pandora? We spoke last night.
We did indeed. Come in. You made it. I just put the kettle on. I can brew a pot of coffee if that's more to your liking.
Nah, tea's okay.
Come on. All the way in. Put down your things. You can leave your shoes on.
Is Pandora your real name?
No.
I see. Is having a handle a common thing within the community?
What community is that you think I'm a part of?
Oh, man. The open-minded?
Good save. I have friends who are part of the conspiracy community, but no, I wouldn't consider myself a member of that particular club. Suppose you'd say we run on parallel tracks.
Well, thanks for meeting with me. I have a lot of questions, and I don't know how to ask them without you regretting inviting me into your home.
That's all right. You came to learn. Who am I to stand in the way of that?
I was told that my aunt's story makes the rounds every now and again. That's why I assumed...
You're right. There's a lot of mystery surrounding that train. And while I don't have a theory or an explanation to give you, I'm hoping I can help shed some light on what drove Dotty Colleran to...
Madness?
No, not madness.
If you heard what I heard, you'd probably think differently.
I heard a woman, trapped in the 40s, while doctors and all the men in her life browbeat her into thinking there was nothing wrong because they said so. A thing like that can make someone feel trapped, make them spiral, burn out. And I believe in proper medication and psychiatric help.
But also demons and devils.
Maybe not necessarily by those names, but yes. I believe something of the sort played a role in why she left.
She's got to have a pretty good reason to vanish like that. In the middle of the night, all of her things just left behind.
It took courage, in my opinion.
I'm not sure my mom would agree with you there.
She might. If she knew what she was running from.
Well, what was she running from?
It might be better for you to hear for yourself. Follow me. When these recordings of Dotty Colleran came to me, they were already on cassette. Something tells me she recorded these after she got off the train. Oh, before I forget.
These are photographs of my Aunt Dotty. I think. I could be wrong. These are from 1945?
That's what's written on the back of them. That's definitely the autumn flyer. You can see Dorothy sitting and talking with some of the troops. She would have been one of the few women aboard. She's posing nicely for that one there. Then there are some more photos of men. The passenger, sleeper cars, the scenery. But I don't know who the photographer is. Sorry to say. Ah, here. I'd like you to have a listen to this one. I've done my best to put them in some sort of order. If memory serves...
And again, I must stress here that I don't mean to deceive or...
Have you heard this one?
mislead you, but...
No, I don't think so.
What I am seeing is real. I'm sure of it. I can't escape it. No matter where I went on that wretched train, or where I go now, I am being followed. And I swear I can see it, if only out of the corner of my eye. I know this isn't something I've just invented in my head. It's not a delusion or a hallucination. I know it's real, and it is always there. Distinct enough, yet somehow nearly formless. Yet I struggle to even truly perceive it. But please, know this is no trick. It's... no. Please don't touch me.
How did you find all these things?
They found their way to me, as objects like these tend to do. Through collectors, curio shops. Some stay hidden, while others are a lot louder. More agitated. They want to be found.
I'm just gonna come right out and say it, but why do you care so much about a woman you've never met before?
I feel like I do know her. She provided me with her thoughts, her emotions, her very real fear and paranoia. She felt so alone.
You feel sorry for her. This isn't Aunt Dotty. Not really. This is a woman on the worst day of her life. Whatever else you think you know.
She reached out a hand to me. She made a mistake. I believe she captured something in those tapes of hers. Something very old. I believe she bore witness to evil. It's not safe for you to have those tapes. For anyone.
I think I hear the tea kettle.
Oh, shoot.
Hello?
Hanson, I'm meeting with Pandora about my aunt's tapes. She said she had some more to show me, so I'm over here, but she's off. Major jinkies. I think she threatened me. Who the fuck is this lady?
Stevie? Where are you?
I'm at Pandora's place. Tell me specifically how you two know each other. Otherwise, Enya might be the soundtrack to my murder.
I don't know a Pandora, Stevie. I was gonna give my guy a call on Monday. You're in her house?
I'm in her basement!
Listen to me very carefully. You need to give me the address, then you're gonna hang up and call 911. Where are you?
It's Sandoval Road.
Okay, the number, Stevie.
Okay, 23... Hanson? Hanson?
Don't mean to deceive or mislead you, but what I am seeing is real. You have to leave. You must. It's coming. It's coming. It's It's coming. It's coming. It's coming.